Hello friends, this video on thermodynamics part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos from part 1 to part 6 before going ahead with part 7. Now let us talk about internal energy. As I told you in this lesson, thermodynamics, we will talk mostly about heat, work and the laws of thermodynamics and things like that. So to start with the chapter, we talked about certain different topics which maybe that you are not able to relate the topics with each other, because I first started with what is thermodynamics, then I told you what is thermodynamic equilibrium. The sequence which I am following is such that I told you thermodynamic equilibrium at the very beginning because I knew that you should be aware of the term equilibrium to know what is zeroth law. Then I told you zeroth law to tell you that temperature, the word temperature got its significance from zeroth law, right? Then I talked about state variables because it is something that will be used when we talk of internal energy. Again, internal energy is something which we need when we talk about the first law of thermodynamics. So I am basically starting from the very basics. So once you go through the entire chapter, then you will understand what is the sequence that I am following. So now let us see what is internal energy. Internal energy is the sum of kinetic energies and potential energies of the molecules constituting the system. Do not get worried with the term molecules. You might be thinking that sometime back I told you that in thermodynamics we will deal with macroscopic study. So we will have nothing to do with molecules or atoms or the microscopic world. So again, from where does this word molecule come when we talk of internal energy? Please note here that internal energy is a macroscopic quantity. It doesn't say the kinetic energy or potential energy of an individual molecule. It means the total, the sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy of all the molecules constituting the system as a whole. So internal energy is basically the energy of the object as a whole. It is not about an individual molecule. So internal energy is a macroscopic quantity. It is generally denoted by capital U. It is a macroscopic variable of the system. Please do not get confused with this. Don't think that since it is sum of kinetic and potential energy of the molecules, so it is microscopic, because it is not the kinetic and potential energy of a single molecule. I am repeating it again because many a time students get confused thinking that internal energy is something to do with the molecule, so it is a microscopic variable. But that is not right. It is a macroscopic variable. Internal energy is a property of the object or the system as a whole. It is a thermodynamic state variable that I told you just some time back when I defined thermodynamic state variable, that internal energy is a state variable and it falls under which category? It is an extensive variable. It is an extensive state variable, that is, it depends on the size of the system, or it indicates the size of the system. So internal energy of a given mass of gas depends on its state specified by specific values of pressure, volume and temperature. So when I talk of internal energy, I told you it is a macroscopic variable, right? So at any point of time, the internal energy will be specified by the values of pressure, volume and temperature at that time. So it doesn't depend on how this particular state of the gas came about. It only depends on that particular state. At that particular time, what is the state of the gas? So that is also a characteristic of thermodynamic state variable. When I define state variable, I told you that it tells about the state of a system at a particular instant. It doesn't bother about the history. It doesn't bother about how did the system arrive to that state. It just bothers about what is the state of the system at that particular instant. So I hope you know what is internal energy. It is a state variable. It is a macroscopic quantity. It is the sum of kinetic and potential energies of all the molecules of the system. Now the next question is, how do we change internal energy of a system? Internal energy is something which we don't sense it from outside. Now, internal energy is something which we don't visualize. For example, if you think of kinetic energy, you can immediately think of an object moving. When I talk of a potential energy, you can immediately think of something getting deformed in its shape or something being raised to some height. But if I talk of internal energy, you don't visualize anything as such, because it is the total energy of the object as a whole which is within the object. So how do we change that internal energy? Basically, there are two ways by which we can change the internal energy. Let us consider an example which will make this clear. Basically, the two ways are heat and work. Heat and work are two different modes of changing the internal energy of a system. We will see how. So we will understand this with the help of an example. So the first way, let us talk about the first way, that is heat. So the first way by which we can change internal energy is transfer of heat. For example, you have a bottle on the top of which you have tied a balloon. The figure doesn't tell you exactly how the balloon is tied, but if you try to do it at your home, you'll understand. You tie the balloon immediately at the neck of the bottle, right? And then you heat the bottle. What happens in this case? The bottle comes in contact with an object which is at a higher temperature. Now, due to the difference in temperature, heat flow takes place or transfer of heat takes place. Due to this transfer of heat, you see that the balloon inflates. The balloon blows up. So that means the total internal, when the balloon blows up, what does that mean? The internal energy of the balloon is increasing. The kinetic energy as well as the potential energy of the molecules inside the balloon is increasing. So that means due to transfer of heat, there was a change in your internal energy. Similarly, the other mode, that is work. You can also do some work on the system. What is your system right now? Your system is nothing but the bottle with the balloon tied on its neck. So in order to change the internal energy of the system, you can also make use of work. Let us see how. So what did we see? The one method to change internal energy was heat transfer, right? When you keep an object in contact with another object which is at a higher temperature, then heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature and the body absorbs heat and the internal energy changes. So that is what happened in the previous case, where when you heated the bottle from bottom, then transfer of that heat made the balloon to inflate. Now in this case, we will see the other method which is used for changing the internal energy. The other method is work done. By doing some work also, you can change the internal energy. Let us suppose that we take the same system, that is the same bottle with a balloon tied to its neck. Don't think it is a glass bottle. It is of course a plastic bottle. Now suppose if you apply pressure from both the ends, that is you are doing some work, right? You are doing some work on the system. When you apply pressure from both the ends, as a result of this, also the balloon inflates. So that means if you want to change internal energy, you have two modes. One is heat, that is heat transfer, and the other is by doing some work on the system. So internal energy increases when the system absorbs heat or some work is done on the system. Similarly, internal energy decreases in the vice versa conditions. So now we will go ahead and we will see how is internal energy different from heat and work and how are these three quantities related to each other. So in the previous slide, we saw that heat and work are two different ways to change the internal energy of a system. So here we will see, so how do we distinguish internal energy from heat and work? The first point of distinction is that heat and work are not state variables, right? What are heat and work? Heat and work are nothing but they are ways to transfer. They are modes of transfer. They are not state variables. State variables are something which at any point of time specify or indicate the state of a system. For example, let us suppose that if I talk about any system, we say that at this point of time, the internal energy of a system is this. So that internal energy is a property or it is a parameter which defines the state of the system. But if I say at this point of time, heat of the system is this, that is not a valid statement at all. Heat is not a property of any system. It is not a property that can define the condition or the state of the system. Similarly is the case with work. So heat and work are not state variables. They are modes of energy transfer to a system resulting in change in its internal energy. So they are just modes of energy transfer. That is, when work is done on a system, there is a change in internal energy. Similarly, when work is done by the system, there is some change in internal energy. And similarly is the case with transfer of heat. So heat and work are not state variables. They are modes of energy transfer. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.